Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at www.buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we are here to help our PM Marketing Network Leads customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell another friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now, on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingils here. Another week in the Building Fortunes Radio Network show. So I am here to say thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Whether you're live on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or whether you're listening into the archived audios on the show, we appreciate your time and your attention, and certainly relish the opportunity to be able to help people in these economic times become the types of people that build their own fortunes. So Building Fortunes Radio is here to help support our Building Fortunes affiliate. A few things have happened this week that are probably worth noting. Number one, of course, the stuff in the news, the government shutdown, which is a little bit on the misleading side because the government really didn't shut down. Just a portion of the government's may be shut down. Now, if it was your portion, it might affect you, but if it wasn't your portion, you probably don't know it. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of the people that are supporting the Building Fortunes affiliate radio show, and then we're going to talk about some of our future and where we're moving. So again, my name is Peter Mingils. Thanks for being here on the Building Fortunes Radio. How did Building Fortunes Radio get started? Several years ago, we started a company called PM Marketing. Actually, I did. And it was as a result of me wanting to do something on my own, understanding that the economy was changing. Now, this is over 16 years ago, that the economy is changing. Words like outsourcing started to become somewhat popular. Remember when Americans were losing jobs overseas. Global businesses started becoming a little bit more popular. Phone rates started to go down. For those people that are old enough to remember, we used to pay sometimes 15 cents per minute, up to 21 cents per minute to use a long-distance phone call. Internet speed started to increase. Computer prices started to go down. So I looked at the opportunity to maybe do something on my own being available and possible. So when I moved down from Chicago to Florida, I decided that maybe I wanted to do something with a home-based business. Now, maybe my business was getting started, and as I started to develop the things relative to what we were doing, I needed a checking account. So I knew I needed a checking account, so I went up to the bank and said, I need a checking account, and she said to me, the gal, said to me, what's the name going to be on the checking account? And I didn't think it through that far, and I playfully looked at her and I said, I just didn't think it through. I knew we needed one because eventually we're going to start to sell stuff. And I knew I needed a banking account to be able to deposit the money and then write checks from, but I didn't think it through that far. So PM Marketing, the name PM Marketing, got started, 16, 17 years ago, I guess prompted by the gal who asked me what the name of my company would eventually be. Well, we're still in business, so for all those people that think you need to have a business plan already concocted and ready to go with a clear definition of where you're going to be in the next 17 years. That may be true for you, but we didn't start out that way. We're still here. We're helping people build their fortunes. Now, we specialize in the home-based business arena. At that time, 17 years ago, my children were 17 years younger. I have kids in their 20s right now. A daughter is still in her teens. But the reality was they were still young babies, and I said to myself, where would I probably be best fit? Now, I remember when I was an area vice president from a company, I asked myself the question, what would my kids want, a dad or an area VP? And for me, in the business that I was in, area VP also meant that I was running across the country for another company. I did not resent that at all. It was wonderful to see the sections of the country that I went through. I liked the traveling. This was before 9/11. I liked the traveling, although it was a pain in the neck. I traveled on my time, although it was a pain in the neck. And for me to go traveling on my time meant I was the first one up in the morning and I was the last one home at night. And the flight that was always late was the one on the way home. So if anybody's on the phone or listening in has ever been one of those road warriors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when I said, what would my kids rather have, a dad or an area vice president, I think they would really, if you ask them, because they didn't know the difference, they'd probably want a dad. So I said, what can I possibly do to be able to work from home? Is this even possible? Well, remember the things that I had referenced. Phone rates were going down. Internet speeds were going up. Computer prices were going down. A lot of other things were conducive, let's call it, to running a business perhaps from home. So I said, why not go for it? This is an opportunity, although it's probably going to be a little bit on the awkward side, a little bit on the rough side as the technology starts to catch up with the dreams that people would have. But I think I'm going to make it. So that's what we did. And we got started, and I work with my brother. His name is Vincent. I work with a whole bunch of really cool people. And as a result of that, we built a really nice business. And one of the things that we always wanted to do was to show you or someone like you, if you wanted to, how to build a fortune. Not make millions, not make billions, not make trillions of dollars, not knowing who you are, although you might make millions, billions, or trillions. The reality is most people would rather have the balance of a comfortable living, above average income, and a lifestyle. So it was all about building a fortune. You could win the lottery. You could be maybe very talented and be able to build your own company and sell it for millions or billions or something like that. But for the regular person that's out there that may not have what it takes to do those types of things, we all can't be Steve Jobs. We all can't be Bill Gates. We all can't be the guys that did Google. For those people that have a balance to their life and maybe not the same level of commitment or chance, I wanted to show people how through a successful building something every single day, they can build something that's going to stand up over time and help themselves and a lot of other people. So if you're in tune with the things that I'm saying, keep listening. I hope you enjoy it. In these tough economic times, I'm even further excited about the possibilities to help. Now, with that further excited with those possibilities to help comes the frustration that we're even in this situation. I got to explain what I mean. We live in arguably one of the best countries, if you're here in the United States, in the world. If you're listening to this show, you might be in one of the other great countries to be able to live. I think I would be naive to think that the one that I live on is absolutely positively the best in every single area. Where you are might be just fine if you're somewhere else. But people here in the States, a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are making sacrifices, which is fine because many times that's what we do when we're growing, but we're also hit with all the different things that are out there. Regardless of your political persuasion, I hope you allow me to say things, the government's really not helping. Portions of it were just shut down. They have always problems with managing their budget. If I ran my business, my naive perception, the way the government runs theirs, I wouldn't be in business. So I need budgets, I need restraints, I need sacrifices, I need to be fiscally responsible, and so far, I don't know all the details, so maybe I'm making an irresponsible statement, but they ain't doing so good. So as a result of that, we've even had customers that were affected by the government or partial government closures. That stinks. We've had people that have been laid off. That stinks before this. We've had customers that are on the verge of really tough financial situations. So I decided that we were going to do Building Fortunes Radio to help our Building Fortunes affiliates create an environment so we can do well. So we're creating and helping other people create their own economy. Now, I'm not alone. There's thousands of you out there that think like me, tens of thousands probably, maybe even hundreds of thousands, probably maybe even millions of people. And collectively, that's you and I. Individually, that's me and you, we can reach a lot of these people. So there's a lot of people on radio shows and internet commercials talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to focus on the things that we can for building a fortune. If you can make a difference in a few people's lives and teach those people how to do the same, we can make a very big difference. I know for me, I have a family of children that are growing up. They're entering the adulthood of their lives where I won't be around forever. I don't think they expect me to be, but I expect them, or hope, so I can help develop a platform or an economy so they can do well. Some of them will want to raise families, I'm guessing. Some of them will probably want to live their dreams and their passions. For their dad, that's like me, I want to try to create the best environment we possibly can. So we're educating them on how to do the same things. We're working with you as well. So for selfish reasons, we are building the fortunes to provide for the people that are important to us. And I hope you are on the same wavelength doing the same thing for you. Because if I take care of me and you take care of you, we can take care of a whole bunch of other people. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been working on. Mario Nardelli, we have a spot for Mario Nardelli. He's an executive director working with a great network marketing company called Trivita. Great product line, good people, and since he was an executive chef, we have our What's Cooking with Mario segment. We're working with Shelley Furry and her team with the Bottom Line Radio. We're helping this exceptional group of individuals start with a company called EPX Body, and with that company they have a fantastic product line, and she collectively is helping a group of people build the EPX Body. We're helping one of our local reps use our humongous ad network to show people how he can actually create his own local economy that eventually will grow bigger using our humongous ad network system. And each one of these individual groups have individual spots on our Building Fortunes radio station, and we are really excited about helping those people. We've even spawned off, or at least partly been responsible for spawning off other radio shows. Bob Adams runs Break Free Radio. We're helping him live his dream. He's the accountant / self-development guru / I want to help the world people as well, and he focuses on tax advantages related to home-based businesses. So as you watch the Building Fortunes radio network grow, you're witnessing as it happens. So we welcome you to be here and participate. As a matter of fact, we're even coining a phrase called SPLs. When my representatives that work over the phone, when my affiliates that are helping us build our business, when we're talking to anyone else, I say we're looking for SPLs for our BFR. And some people might say, what's a BFR? Well, that's Building Fortunes Radio. You're listening to it right now. What's an SPL? Well, it's really quite simple. You can help us build our SPLs. What's an SPL? Any radio station like ours would need, S stands for speakers. We need specialists. We have tons of them around, but now we need them to participate in Building Fortunes Radio. I run a sister radio company called The Dash Radio, and that started first even before we did Building Fortunes. And The Dash Radio, which you can go to, is thedashradio.com, has a huge and wonderful assortment of all different types of entrepreneurs. Musicians, we've had lots of really cool people there that play really cool music, and you hear their entrepreneurial stories. We've had coaches, like, those business coaches or educational coaches and things like that. We've had authors. We've had business builders. We've had business owners. We've had psychics. We've had paranormal people. We've had a lot of really cool people that help fill in someone's dash. In the same aspect, though, Building Fortunes Radio is using some of those people as well to show people how they can collectively build a fortune. So, yes, there might be some of you that are out there that are specialists and or speakers. So that's what the S in SPL stands for. Any other radio station would need participants. Remember SPL. We're looking for SPLs. We're looking for speakers and then, of course, participants. There are many of you who may not necessarily specialize. Maybe you don't write a book. Maybe you don't train a gaggle of people. Maybe you don't change the world with paranormal psychology. But you're important. Your piece of opinion or your piece of experience might be important to the collective group that we're forming with Building Fortunes Radio affiliates. So we want to hear from you. So that's the P. And then, of course, every radio show just needs listeners. So we're looking for SPLs. So if you are here, go to their website, buildingfortunesradio.com, and we'll put up a section where you can tell us whether you're an S or a P or an L, because we're looking for SPLs over at BFR, helping our BFAs. BFR is Building Fortunes Radio, BFA are Building Fortunes affiliates, and collectively, watch us grow. Just like I did before at the counter of the bank where we needed to start our company, and the girl asked me, what's the name? And I said, I hadn't thunk it through that far. We've had 17 solid years with my company to build a huge infrastructure, and if there were ever a time to help people that were interested in building a fortune, it is right now. I used to think, or I used to playfully say, the only secure positions are government positions, and I'm not so sure if that's true right now unless you're a senator or unless you're maybe part of the House of Representatives, and hopefully that's even, not necessarily the most secure position because they have term limits. But the reality is where is the security nowadays? The answer is worldwide there probably never was, and there certainly never is. The security is mostly going to come from the individual. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you build a fortune. No losers in the equation. Everybody wins, and thanks for being here. We're going to say thanks for being here on this segment of Building Fortunes Radio. You go to buildingfortunesradio.com, and I'm going to see you next week, and we'll have other guest speakers, and I'll keep you up to date. Thanks.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on www.buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for featured segments like What's Cooking with Mario, The Bottom Line Team, and coming soon, the Dr. Bob and Hannah Show. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for.